How do I break through to the next level in my finances? Have you ever found yourself at a place where you just felt stuck? I mean, you could be a six-figure earner, you could even be a seven-figure earner, but you just still find yourself in a place that you feel stuck. And you know that there's another level, but you just don't know how to break through from the level that you're currently on. Well, in this video, I'm just going to share with you 3 tips to help you break through to the next level in your finances. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you are currently financially. You could be living paycheck to paycheck, or you could be on that first million trying to break that ceiling, trying to get to the next one. So here's the first thing that you have to do. You have to realize that there is indeed another level that's available for you, and you have to believe that it's attainable. You see, a lot of times we just think that, man, this is as far as I can go based off of my paycheck or based off of the current streams of income that I have coming in. We just believe that that's as far as I can go. You got to break that mentality, man. There's always another level for you to go through, and the way that you were created, you owe it to yourself to press toward that other level, because the way God created you, He didn't create you to stay stuck on any level, no matter where you are. Now, I know some people will be like, but you're getting into greed now. You need to be satisfied with where you are. Listen, would you be satisfied with the current level of health if you knew there was another level available? Would you be satisfied with your current level of mental health if you knew there was another level available? Nah, you always pushing on to the better. Now, I'm not saying don't be content and, to be always complaining about what you have, but just realize that there is another level for you to go to, and you got to realize that it's attainable. Now, that's step number 1. Step number 2, and this is so important, everything that I teach is based off of this concept. You have to learn how to start living from your identity, your God-given identity, to be specific. And what do I mean by that? You see, a lot of times we live life based off of external things. We live life based off of our paycheck. We live life based off of our current pains and past trauma. We may even live life based off of our current level of poverty. And the thing is, all of those things are wrought with limitations. So you're going to have to go to another level higher and start living from your God-given identity. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about what church you go to or what denomination that you're a part of. I'm talking about how you were created. I'm talking about the divine part of who you are. I'm talking about your divinity. I'm talking about your spirituality. And the reason why you have to tap into that part of your identity, because that's your God part of you. That's your divine part. And there isn't any limitation there. So if I'm just living based off of, what my parents did, and man, God bless my parents and what they taught me and the level that they set for me. But if I'm just living off of what my parents told me or taught me, or if I'm just living from my paycheck, or I'm living from my past pains and experiences, you're going to cap out. There's a limitation there. And so teaching men how to live from their identity is what I do in my community, Brothers of Affluence. And this is so important. And the reason why it's so important is because whether you realize it or not, your identity is the reference point from which you live your whole life. And see, the issue is you don't even realize that. Every decision that you make, the thoughts that you think, they're coming from your sense of yourself. They're coming from your identity. And so the problem is, many times we often have a distorted sense of who we really are, because we really haven't discovered this is who I am and this is how God created me as a spiritual being. So until you understand that, until you get a revelation of that, you're going to always be living from the natural limitations of their life. And so a lot of people kind of get thrown off because they think it's about religion and different things like that. No, it's about how you were created as an individual. You are a spirit, you possess a soul, and you live in this body. That's another lesson right there. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, the anatomy of man. But look, you got to train yourself how to start living from your God-given spiritual identity. All right. That's number 2. Number 3, and this is important as well. if you don't really understand who you are, there's so many things to get you fearful in this world. And so number three is that you have to learn how to stop living and making decisions from a place of fear. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. You may be living in a place now where you may have millions, but you still living secretly from that fear of, man, what if I run out of money, or what if something happens and I lose my millions? You still living from a place of fear. Or you may be the person who you don't ever think that you're going to ever be able to break out of the debt or the constraints that you're currently in. And so you're still living your life from a place of fear. So what I'm here to tell you is that we have to stop making decisions from a place of fear, lack, and limitation, regardless of what your current bank account balance or your current paycheck may look like. I had to put my glasses on for that one. I don't care what things look like now. See, when you tap into your true identity, that's what it gives you the power to do. You can start thinking and speaking and making decisions from your identity, as opposed to making decisions from the fear that you picked up based on how your current circumstances look. So this is a whole different mind shift of how we've been taught to think. We base everything based off of, what does the natural part look like? What does my bank account balance say? And I'm not saying that you don't give respect to those things, but you do not let them shape and form your identity. And so if you can start with the identity first and then start living from that place, then all of the external things will eventually, and I've been doing this, I've really been working on making this shift in my thinking for about I started writing, I wrote a book on identity back in 2009. So I've been on this for a while, but really in the last 3 to 5 years, it's really started to come together and crystallize. So if you can get that revelation of who you are and start living from there, all of the outward things that you see, eventually they're going to start to line up with who you know yourself to be. But we have the cart before the horse. We let our bank account balances, past experiences, what people say, societal expectations, we let those things determine our identity and how we see themselves. But that's going to end starting today, because I'm going to teach you how to begin living from your identity. So this summer, I'm going to have an 8-week boot camp where we're going to talk about identity. We're going to talk about getting in alignment. We're going to talk about how to live a manifested life versus a manufactured life. We're going to talk about how to set up your money systems. We're going to do the practical thing. We're going to do all of those things, and we're going to be starting that on June the 4th. And I got some time off this summer, and so I'm going to pour all of my energies into really helping people go to that next level in their finances by helping them understand their true identity and getting in alignment with that. This is the season for you to understand who you are and start living from that place. And I guarantee any limitation that has been holding you back, eventually, once you start operating from who you are, that limitation, that ceiling is going to have to eventually remove itself.